Let us look at another example of cost volume profit analysis. The Maxus Restaurants Incorporated has two restaurants that are open 24 hours a day. The total fixed costs for the two restaurants total $450,000 per year. The average sales check per customer is $8. The average cost of food and other variable costs for each customer is $3.2. The income tax rate is 30% and the target net income is $105,000. Now we have to find out the following. First, how many sales checks are needed to break even? And second, compute net income if the number of sales checks is 150,000. So let's say these two are the restaurants owned by Maxus Restaurants Incorporated. Now the total fixed cost for the two restaurants total $450,000 per year. So combined, both of these have a fixed cost of $450,000 per year. So let's say these restaurants are leased from a landowner and we have to pay an amount of $450,000 per year in fixed cost. Now there are customers who come to these restaurants to have dinner. Now let's say this person here in green represents the customers who come to these restaurants. Now on an average, each customer pays $8 as part of their sales check. So the incoming funds for Maxus Restaurants is $8 per sales check or per customer. Now for preparing food in these restaurants, you need the vegetables as well as cooks to cook the food. So all of that costs money, and the average cost of food and other variable cost for each customer is given to us as $3.2. So let's say this gentleman here, raw material and labor supplier, is supplying the raw material and labor to Maxus Restaurants. So in return, Maxus Restaurants has to pay back a variable cost of $3.2 per customer. And this is the variable cost. So we have incoming funds, which is the sales price or the revenue, and we have outgoing funds, which are costs in terms of fixed cost and the variable cost. The net of this, that is the incoming funds minus the outgoing funds, gives the income for the restaurant company. Now on the income, the restaurant company has to pay income tax to the income tax department. And the income tax rate has been given to us as 30%. So this is coming out from Maxus Restaurants to the income tax department. And this is income tax rate, which is equal to 30%. Now Maxus Restaurants Inc. has established a goal for itself to have a targeted net income of $105,000. That means that after deducting the variable cost, the fixed cost from the total revenue, you'll get the income, which is the total gross income or the operating income. Now from that, when you deduct the income tax, then whatever is the amount, that is the net income, and that should be $105,000. Now what we have to find out is how many sales checks are needed to break even. That means how many customers with an average sale price of $8 per customer do we need in order to break even or in order to recover all the cost. Second, compute net income if the number of sales checks is 150,000. So basically, if the total number of customers coming to Maxus Restaurants Inc. is 150,000, then what is the net income that Maxus Restaurant Inc. is making? So let's see how we can find answers to these questions. So here, the information given to us is that the fixed costs are $450,000 per year. The unit selling price is $8. The unit variable costs are $3.2. The income tax rate is 30%, and the target net income is $105,000. Now, first what we are being asked to find out is how many sales checks are needed in order to break even. In simple terms, basically this means that how many units are need to be sold in order to break even, or how many customers do we need to get in order to break even. Now, when do we break even? So we break even when the total revenue is equal to the total cost. Total revenue is nothing but the number of units sold multiplied by the unit selling price, and total cost is fixed cost plus the variable cost, or Q multiplied by P is equal to F plus, now the variable cost can also be written as the number of units sold multiplied by the unit variable cost. So now here we have to find out the value of Q, that is how many units are we selling. So or Q is the variable here, so Q multiplied by P, P is the selling price which is $8, is equal to F, which is the fixed cost which is $450,000, plus Q, which is the variable, multiplied by C, which is 3.2. This is multiplication. So or 8Q is equal to 450,000 plus 3.2Q, or, so let's now bring the terms with the variable, that is Q, on one side of the equation. So this 3.2 let's bring on this side, so it is plus, and when we bring on the other side it will become negative. So 8Q minus 3.2Q is equal to 450,000, or 8 minus 3.2 is 4.8. So 4.8 times Q is equal to 450,000, or Q is equal to 450,000 divided by 4.8, which is equal to 93,750 units, or in other terms 93,750 sales checks. So in other terms, if we are considering the selling price to be $8 per unit or per sale check, then we need 93,750 sales checks in order to recover all the costs and break even. Now let's consider the second question, which is to compute the net income if the number of sales checks is 150,000. So the second question is compute the net income if the number of sales checks is 150,000. So we have to find out the net income, and net income is equal to operating income minus operating income multiplied by the income tax rate. So if we know the operating income and the income tax rate, then we can find out the net income. Now we know the income tax rate, which is 30%, but we don't know the operating income. So operating income is equal to the total revenue minus the total cost. Total revenue is equal to the quantity sold multiplied by the unit selling price, and total cost is equal to fixed cost plus the variable cost, where variable cost is equal to the quantity sold multiplied by the unit variable cost. So here we know that the quantity sold is 150,000. We know the unit selling price, which is 8. We know the fixed cost, which is 450,000. We know the quantity sold, which is again 150,000. And we know the unit variable cost, which is $3.2. So let's find out the value of operating income, and then we can use that to find out the net income. So let's substitute the values. 150,000 multiplied by P, which is 8, minus fixed cost, which is 450,000, plus Q, which is 150,000 multiplied by C, which is 3.2. So 8 5s are 40, 4 carry over, 8 1s are 8, plus 4 is 12. So 1 2 0, and then 4 zeros, 0 0 0 0, minus 450,000 plus, now 15 multiplied by 3.2, so 15 2s are 30, so we'll do 0 here and 3 carry over. 15 3s are 45, 46, 47, 48. And then we have one decimal point, so 48.0. So this is 48 and then 4 zeros. So 1 2 0 0 0 0 0 minus, so 4 zeros. 8 plus 5 is 13. 4 plus 4 is 8 plus 1 9. So now we have to find out 120 minus 93. So let's consider this as 100. So 120 minus 100 is 20, and then 100 minus 93 is 7. So 20 plus 7, 27. So 27 and then 4 zeros. So this is the operating income. Now let's find out the net income. So operating income is 27 and then 4 zeros, and then minus operating income multiplied by income tax rate. So 270000 multiplied by income tax rate, which is 30%, and 30% can be written as 30 divided by 100. So this is equal to 270000 minus, so these two zeros get cancelled, 1 0 here, 1 0 here, so 3 zeros, 7 3s are 21, 3 2s are 6, plus 2 is 8. So this is equal to, so $189,000 is the net income. So in point number 1, we had seen that in order to break even, the number of customers required is 93,750. And in this case, we are being asked to find out the net income if the number of customers is 150,000. So definitely, because we are breaking even at a lower number than this, we definitely have a profit, and the profit or the net income came out to be $189,000.